So the beginning of Halo 4 picks up where the events of Halo 3 left off, and you have Chief and Cortana who have been drifting through space aboard the Forward Unto Dawn for a little over 4 years, and Cortana is reawakening Chief as a result of this impending threat. And so from there, they're dealing with this ordeal where their ship is being pulled into this mysterious planet, and they're dealing with Covenant that are boarding the ship, and it's basically this chaotic race to try and get to safety that kicks off the campaign with a bang.
Chief, watch out!
The first mission in Halo 4 is kind of a reintroduction of a lot of familiar elements of Halo, but seen through a different lens, and we really took an approach of trying to create a more immersive experience, sort of deeper storytelling elements that set a mood and a tone and an atmosphere. And shortly after starting on that mission, you're reintroduced to the Covenant, and you're forced to deal with them, and they're not exactly friendly. And so a lot of people are probably asking, what's going on? Why am I fighting the Covenant? I thought that we'd resolved that conflict in Halo 3. And it's important to remember that, there's been a lot of time that's taken place in the intervening years. It's been, 4 years, 7 months. So since the events of Halo 3, the Covenant is kind of fractured, and there are different factions that have established themselves. And so the particular faction that the Chief and Cortana are dealing with are not friendly, and they are sort of religious zealots that they're encountering and that they come into conflict with. Over the course of the first mission, Chief and Cortana are pulled into this Forerunner planet, this mysterious world called Requiem, and this becomes the location for much of our campaign. And this is sort of hearkening back to that original feel of mystery and wonder that Halo's really known for. When I think back to those first steps on the Halo ring in Halo CE, that was the same kind of feeling that we wanted to capture, but presenting a whole new world in Requiem. And this is a world that's full of Forerunner culture. It's full of mysteries waiting to be unlocked, but it's also full of threats, new threats that are unlike anything that the Chief has faced before. And one of those threats, one of the major forces that the Chief is faced to deal with are this new enemy called the Prometheans, which is a brand new enemy class for Halo 4. This gives us the opportunity to bring new weapons into play, as well as new abilities. And for the Prometheans, one of the biggest challenges for us from a design perspective was to design a new class of weapons that would stand up against all of those familiar favorites that are returning classics from Halo's past. So we really wanted to create weapons that felt, on the one hand, alien and advanced and sort of true to the nature of Forerunner technology, but at the same time relatable enough that a player could pick it up for the first time and understand how this weapon would function. Is this going to be a short-range, SMG-like rapid-fire weapon, or is this going to be a long-range precision weapon, or more of a shotgun? And so as we were going through the design of these weapons, we wanted to bring some of those relatable aspects into the aesthetic design and the functional design of the weapons, and find that balance. Halo 4 deals with a large galactic scale story that is as epic an adventure as any of the original trilogy. But one of the things we're doing is exploring also a more personal story. We're exploring this story and this relationship between Master Chief and his closest friend, essentially, his AI Cortana, who is nearing her expiration date. AIs are designed to sort of last for 7 years, and she's past 7 years. I think she's just past her 8th birthday when the game begins, and so she's dealing with this sense of her own mortality as she nears her end. And this is something that she and Chief need to deal with set against the backdrop of this larger conflict. pretty early on in the campaign, Chief and Cortana receive a strange signal, and they start to sort of follow this mysterious signal that turns out to be a UNSC ship called the UNSC Infinity, and they try to meet up with the Infinity. And the Infinity does eventually meet up with Chief, and they cross paths, and they go on a series of adventures over the course of the campaign. But the Infinity really becomes this foundational piece of a whole new multiplayer experience that we're introducing with Halo 4. So the Infinity ship is that location from which all of the multiplayer experiences in Halo 4 launch, and it's the location from which your new career as a Spartan 4 launches from. So this is this complete sort of narrative wrapper that we're creating for the multiplayer experience in Halo 4. So Halo 4 is coming to Xbox 360 this November 6th, 2012.